Well, now I have the lovely Carmen, founder of Crew Club. And Carmen, I would love for you to start with telling us about your business. And as I did with Sally, say it in 5 words or under.
Okay. That's such a challenge, by the way.
I know.
Okay,
That's
so
why
5
I
words. I guess better business intros, like introductions.
Yeah.
Curated community.
I love that.
That's
I love
5
that.
words. Whew, that was hard.
So I think the one thing, and I said this to you off camera as well, like you are a bit of an enigma to me. I have known you for a while now, and I actually don't know your founder story. So give me the real reason that you started your business. Like give me the reason that you started Crew Club.
Yeah.
What was the purpose?
Okay, so when I first moved to Dubai, I was a consultant and I was going to a ton of these networking events. And I honestly felt like I was spending so much time.
Hello.
I love this.
We got camels, guys.
I know.
See, we're unfiltered completely. Look at me, we got camels just going in the background.
Okay, so I was spending so much time, money, energy on networking events. And I wasn't actually getting that much from it, let alone meeting the right people in the room. It was a real struggle. And I just noticed that whenever I did meet other people that were similar situation to what I was experiencing, they said the same thing. And so actually Crew has been formed out of a frustration that networking has not changed in decades. And it's universal, it's around the world, it's all the same.
Yeah.
But Dubai has, the sheer volume of networking exacerbates the problem, right?
For sure.
So I think honestly, Crew is very much a mission-led business around how do we improve the future of networking that actually generates more business outcomes that are favorable to the people that are looking to do the networking in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, so why were you networking in the first place then?
Right.
Like, what was it that you were doing in order to like be networking so much? Like, what was it you doing?
Yeah. So, there's several reasons. I think that first up, you're trying to meet people that are on the same wavelength as you. And typically you're looking for other founders that, it's a very lonely business being a founder.
Yeah.
Like we know that, right? Like it's something that we don't have colleagues. We don't have the water cooler moments in the office. We don't have people to be able to talk to about our problems and challenges that we're facing. So I think that's first and foremost what I was looking for. I've been in the community space for over a decade, so I'm always searching for communities and that feeling of community. But at the same time, for me, it was about developing deeper relationships with other businesses and understanding what their needs were to help them with building a community. That was my original thought around it. It wasn't meant to be very transactional per se. I'm not a pushy salesperson. No. I love to get to know people. I love to understand their business and how I can help.
Yeah.
And so that's really the reason I was going to these networking events. But to be honest, my personal experience, and I know a lot of people have also experienced this, I was meeting people that hadn't even started a business. They were thinking about starting a business, or they worked for another company and they were just there because their company sponsored the event.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why, like we go to these networking events and it's not quite right to the people that we're looking to meet. And I just felt really strongly that I could do this better.
Love that. Why not? I can do this better than you, so I'm going to.
I saw a problem and I was like, let's fix this,
Yeah. So were you a founder of another business before this one then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've actually run several businesses in the past. So,
interesting.
And I think that's why with Crew, the fact that I've formed a community around business, it's like I actually have a very deep empathy for the businesses that they're going through. I've run e-commerce businesses before where I had zero tech background and I had to figure out how do I even build a website that was pretty sophisticated at the time. That's actually how I got into tech in the first place. And then I started a business around COVID actually, where I was helping people build communities because at the time we were all going online and my space in the community world was online.
Amazing.
So I was working with clients all around the world and building out that business.
Amazing. I love that. See, learning things new, guys. She had other businesses.
I'm not actually
Who
a
knew
mystery.
that?
I'm not a mystery, I promise.
I guess also, with Crew, it is such a beautiful space that you've created. Essentially, you've got so many wonderful founders that are in there. Everyone's super collaborative. Everyone loves to be together. And again, as you say, you aren't a pushy salesperson at all. For the fact that also, to begin with, it was for free for most of us anyway. Yes. And that was a really nice element. And of course, now it's gone into membership, which is wonderful as well, because obviously you've got to make some money.
Yeah, I actually call it matchmaker on retainer.
I love that.
So it's very different. I'm trying to move away again. If the problem exists and the solutions haven't changed, I'm like, okay, well, the solution with Crew also has to change, right? And so I don't want to just sell Crew as, okay, we run a bunch of events and you're buying into a membership. It's like, no, actually, you've got someone in your corner that's trying to create these introductions that can actually move the needle forward for your business.
100%. I guess that's the one thing, I guess, for people that don't know what Crew does. As you say, it is such a matchmaking thing. So do you want to give a little bit of an explanation, just a quick few words of like exactly how Crew works other than the event side?
Right. So the way that it works is there's an application to join first and foremost. So it's not that you just pay a fee and you're entering a community. Again, wanted that to be really different around, okay, well, they have to, number one, be either a founder or a business decision maker. They have to be the right people in the room for me to be able to deliver the value that I need to. And if that meets the criteria that I'm looking for, I also look for values, by the way. So again, if I'm not a pushy salesperson, I actually don't want anybody in Crew to be a pushy salesperson.
100%.
Like, nobody likes that. It doesn't even work for business.
There's nothing worse. Like, it puts you off so badly when people are just like, here's my business card. I want you to I'm going to help you with this. And then they just start sending you loads of WhatsApps and being like, hi, did you get this? Did you get that? It's like, I'm not interested. Like, it almost puts you off like wanting to buy their service or business, because you're like, it's just putting too much pressure. And you're like, you know what?
Get me away from that. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's with Crew, I'm really trying to do things intentionally, where if my whole goal is to create better business outcomes for all the members, then we can't have
have everybody in there.
I can't just have everybody in there, and I can't have everybody just pushing their business, because I know that doesn't work in terms of generating real business outcomes. So yeah, I guess I'm picky in terms of that, and I've definitely received backlash over that. Like, you're too exclusive, or you're too this, or like you should have it where everybody can join. And for me, if I did that, then I become like everybody else.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's the first stage is really around curation, and following that, it's also about really getting deeper with understanding people's businesses. So I'm not playing a quantity game here. I don't want Crew to be 10,000 members, and we really don't even know half the membership. It's not. We're really not going down that path. We're going down the path of, okay, how do we get to know you and your business, and who do you actually need to meet to move your business forward? And if you don't know who you need to meet, because a lot of founders actually don't even know what they need. I mean, so I actually,
we're all just winging it here, people.
Right, but that's totally normal. I feel like we go to these networking events, right, and half the time, like I've legitimately heard this recently, I don't know why I'm here in the room.
I mean, I've done that so many times. I've gone to a networking event, and like there'd be speakers at the event as well. And I'm like, I really want to talk to you, but I actually don't know what to ask you.
Yes, exactly.
And I literally stand there going like, I feel like an idiot. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to go up to talk to this person that's supposed to be, successful and knows what they're talking about. And I'm like, I have no questions. And I'm like, am I that like...
No, but nobody teaches you as well how to even effectively business network, And so for me, it's really important that I get to know your business, and then the introductions that are made, the warm intros, they're done in a way where there's context added to like understanding, okay, well, Annika has a PR company, but she's doing PR differently as well. Like, adding that context is then going to give the other person a reason to want to meet you and already feel more open-minded about it, right? Versus, oh, you do PR, okay, like,
everyone does PR.
Everyone does PR.
There's about 2,000 agencies now.
Exactly. So yeah, I think just taking that time and caring about the members and the businesses that they're trying to build has helped Crew really create more beneficial business outcomes.
And I think that's the thing also like to touch on, is that it really also focuses on like the element of like, people always seem to think that everyone has to compete against each other. Like, it's always like, but actually what Crew does is that it's like, as I say, at the top we collaborate, and that's 100% what Crew does as well. Absolutely. And that's definitely like, I think one of like the most big advantage. And I think as if someone's starting up, like, don't think of people as your competition. Think of them as someone that you can collaborate with. Like, for me, I know I work with and I speak with a lot of people in my industry. Like, as I said, there's like thousands of PR agencies, but we all work together essentially because we, you know, at the end of the day, like, I can help somebody and someone else can help me, and like we're collaborating, and that's exactly what Crew does as well.
I love that. Exactly.
And I think that's such an important element because at the end of the day, you can't do everything on your own, and nor should you.
And yeah, the strength and the power of collaboration is incredible. And to be fair, when I started Crew is a very new concept. So I had a lot of people question and even push back on my matches, where if it was a competitor and I'd explained this could be a potential collab, they still shut it down straight away. So it was like the mindset really needs to change
100%.
around collab is so key. And some of the strongest partnerships we've had in Crew have been collabs.
Exactly. And I think that is like one of the, and like a lot of the things that I work on, like especially like with PR, like one of our elements is partnerships, strategic partnerships, because it's utilizing other people's networks and they utilize yours, and it's an equal beneficial, you know, scenario for everybody.
100%.
All right, I feel like we've done a lot of nicey now.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna ask you a few more questions that are gonna
In
be
the
a little
literal
bit more
hot seat.
in the hot seat now. So what would you say the stage of your business is in right now?
So I think I'm in early traction
Right.
stage. Again, because this is a very new type of business, and like I can't copy paste
No.
Crew. It doesn't exist. So even the business model and figuring out the long-term plan, it's all very much like we're getting traction. I've got successful case studies now that are literally being put on the website as we speak.
I love that.
So, and that's really what I've been focusing on, is actually, like, I don't want to just be all talk. I just want to be like, oh yeah, this is really cool. I'm a business matchmaker and it sounds cool. I'm like, I want the actual results, and we're starting to see those results now. So we're definitely at that early traction stage.
So in terms of like, to like kind of go on with that question, with your business obviously being an unplanned business, something that it's not something that you can copy paste. For other people that have businesses that are similar to that, or like me, they don't have, someone that they can just, watch and see. Right. What has been your strategy, or how have you kind of implemented to get to where you are right now?
Right. So I think giving value first was very key with Crew, and it was a very different and unique aspect that a lot of people almost felt shocked as to how I was doing things, but I felt really like passionate, and it honestly felt very true to how I wanted to do business. And I think my recommendation or advice to others is, even if you're getting people throwing backlash at you or questioning you or telling you you're crazy, because I got that on a daily basis.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. I literally had people telling me I was ridiculous for not charging for what I did, etc. But if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't have had all the amazing success case stories happen. I wouldn't have got through to being advised by Dubai Chambers. I'm a Dubai Founders HQ ambassador now. Like, there's so many amazing things that have happened, but it's all from me being true to and believing in what I was doing.
And I think that's one of the things also that you can take from your story as well, that just because you don't sell it to begin with doesn't mean it won't eventually be profitable, right? Yes. Like, sometimes you do need to offer services for free/discounted in order to, it doesn't mean it undervalues you, like, always, but because it does, sometimes you need those case studies. You need to have people that are going to be able to give you.
I needed proof of concept. I mean, this is something that never had been done before. Yeah. So and it was very important that I got the right people in Crew to begin with. So I needed the right mindset. I needed people that were really open-minded and almost forgiving, because honestly, it was not pretty behind the scenes. I mean, things broke on me constantly. Yeah. There was a lot of pressure, obviously. Even though it was free, I had a lot of pressure on myself to still deliver the value.
For sure. So. And I think that's the thing, though. It's like, again, it's trial and error, right? Everyone, and again, we'll go like with Sally. I said it's like one of those things where it's like none of us know what we're doing, right? Yeah, even if we have a blueprint, we're still like, you can like, things happen, and then all of a sudden you have to pivot, and you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Exactly.
And again, like, as a founder, I think, to be like, from my experience, and I think maybe you can feel the same way, it's very much like you turn around and like be like on one trajectory, and then all of a sudden something happens. You're like, okay, I have to make a decision and I don't know what I'm doing. Because, like, again, like some of us haven't been founders before, like they're first time founders, and you're just like, okay, so I guess I have to make a decision now, but I don't know what the right call is, and you just have to go on your gut, essentially.
And it's okay if it's not the right, like, we also don't need to think that that decision is a forever decision.
That's true. Exactly.
We can literally pull back on that if it's not working out. Like, that's the whole point. You're trying, especially when you're early stage, you're just really trying to get to that MVP stage, you know, and from there you can keep building it out. But, yeah.
I think it's one of those, it's like that phrase, which I really like as well, where it turns around and says to you, like, that it's okay to change your mind. Yes. And I think a lot of people, like, and like personally or business, like, I think people double down on a decision because they think it's the right decision. Yes. But just because you thought it was the right decision that time doesn't mean when you get new information, it's okay to change your mind.
Exactly. There's a really great quote that I think about it often. It's be married to the solution, be married to the problem, not the solution. Yeah. And you can divorce the solution at any point, you know, have multiple divorces. And I think that's just really important that we're not that emotionally tied and drop the ego around it. Like, nobody is thinking, oh, Carmen did crew this way and now she's moving on to this. I think you just got to be really transparent with any moves that you do make. And I try to do that. You know, my Instagram stories, I'm constantly trying to share, you know, where I'm at with crew or like my matchmaking engine would break, or, you know, I was constantly trying to update people 100%. And be real about it.
I love that. Yeah. I'm going to ask the question that Sally couldn't answer.
Okay. Gosh.
What's the most overrated piece of advice founders are given in your eyes? I feel like this is something you could answer, maybe. It is a difficult one.
It's a difficult one. I think, to be honest, focusing on scale. Yeah. Everybody's telling you, scale. How are you going to scale?
Oh my God,
That's actually not even the most important question right at the start. Okay. It's really about, how do I deliver value to even a small group of people in the room that I need to deliver the value to? And then you can move on later down the track into how do I scale?
100%. It's like set the foundation.
Yes.
Because if your foundation is solid, then when you do scale, you like, because they always say it's like if you start scaling too fast, you'll see the cracks very quickly and you can tumble, right? So it's about set that foundation, I think, definitely. What do you think you're doing right now, but it isn't actually moving the needle? But what do you, like, maybe, I guess to go back to that question of like, what, you know, you can change your mind, but what is there something that you've been doing that you're still pushing at, but maybe actually you should be letting that thing go?
Oh gosh, what should I let go? To be honest, I'm actually really proud of everything that I've done so far with crew. There's definitely things that aren't moving the needle, like with community building included. It's, you do things that don't scale to begin with, and it's really tough to go from that to then figure out, okay, what's the next step? And there are definitely things that I still do that they're deepening the relationships, which I think are very important. However, I do think that they could be done in different ways that increase my own effectiveness to build crew. And so that's sort of the stage that I'm at now.
Do you have a specific example you want to give us?
No, I don't really have a specific example. I think it's just more around even with my LinkedIn and Instagram activity with the social, I'm getting a lot more traction around that, which means that I get a lot more DMs around, let's meet for a coffee. Yeah. Let's meet for one-to-ones. And Dubai loves meeting for coffee.
We do love it.
And it can be really, really tough to say no, or to figure out, okay, how can I protect my time, protect my energy, to ensure that even what I'm currently building will be successful. And so that's something that I constantly do think about that, but it's also really important at my stage to go and meet people and develop relationships. So
yeah, for sure. All right, and finally, the last question I'm going to ask is, what's something in your business right now that looks fine on the outside but you know isn't?
I love that question. I think that systems for sure can be improved, but I also caveat that, like, I think a lot of people focus on, just automate this, automate that. And I actually like the fact that there's issues or current challenges that crew needs to figure out. And then I think it's the right time to automate.
Yeah.
And when you know that's important enough that it should be automated versus automating right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I have to figure out.
Amazing. Love it. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful.